Billionaire CEO yelled, "Don't follow me." But a black janitor saw what could save her life. The glass towers of Meridian Industries pierced the Seattle skyline like crystal daggers, and on the 67th floor, CEO Valentina Cross was drowning in her own success. At 32, with platinum blonde hair and eyes the color of Arctic ice, she commanded a tech empire worth $8.7 billion. But tonight, as rain lashed against her office windows, she was planning to end it all. The bottle of pills sat on her desk next to the suicide note she'd written and rewritten 12 times. The pressure had become unbearable. The hostile takeover attempt, the board's betrayal, the loneliness that ate at her like acid. Her CFO had embezzled millions. Her fiancé had been secretly selling company secrets, and her own mother had chosen money over her daughter when offered a buyout by competitors. "Everybody wants a piece of Valentina Cross," she whispered to her reflection in the dark window. "But nobody wants Valentina." She grabbed her coat and the pills, heading for the roof. The executive elevator required her key card, and she swiped it with trembling hands. As the doors began to close, a mop handle jammed between them. "Sorry, ma'am," a deep voice said. "Didn't mean to." "Get out!" Valentina screamed, her composure finally shattering. "Don't you dare follow me. I don't need cleaning services right now." The janitor, a tall black man in his late 30s with kind eyes and calloused hands, stepped back immediately. His name tag read Solomon Wade, but Valentina didn't notice. She jabbed the close button repeatedly. "Ma'am, are you all right?" Solomon asked, genuine concern in his voice. "Don't follow me," she yelled again as the doors closed. "Just don't." But Solomon had been working nights at Meridian for 5 years. He'd seen that look before. The hollow eyes, the trembling hands, the way she clutched her coat like armor. His own brother had worn that same expression the night he'd tried to jump off the Aurora Bridge. He watched the elevator display, 68, 69, 70. Roof access. "Lord, no," Solomon muttered, dropping his mop. He grabbed his phone and ran for the stairs, his bad knee protesting with every step. 5 years of cleaning this building meant he knew every shortcut, every access point. He also knew the roof door's emergency alarm had been broken for months. Budget cuts, they'd said. His supervisor, Clarence Mitchell, radioed him. "Solomon, where you running to? You got Sector 7 to finish." "Emergency on the roof, Clarence. Call 911, but quiet like. Don't want to spook her." "Her? You mean, just call, man." Solomon burst through the roof door to find Valentina standing on the ledge, rain soaking through her designer suit. The wind whipped her hair around her face as she stood 40 feet from him. Pills scattered at her feet where she dropped the bottle. "I told you not to follow me," she screamed over the storm. "I'm not following," Solomon said, hands raised, staying where he was. I'm just here. That's all. Go away. You don't understand. You're right. I don't understand your world, but I understand that look in your eyes. Saw it in my brother's eyes. Saw it in my own mirror once upon a time. Valentina turned slightly, still balanced precariously on the ledge. "You don't know me." "No, ma'am, I don't. But I know pain when I see it. Been cleaning your office for 5 years now. Seen you go from bright-eyed to hollow. Seen you eating dinner at your desk at 2 a.m. Seen the empty photo frames you turned face down last month. You've been watching me? I've been seeing you. There's a difference. Janitors are invisible, but we see everything." Despite herself, Valentina felt tears mixing with rain on her cheeks. "Everyone betrayed me. Everyone. Tell me about it," Solomon said, slowly sitting down on the wet roof, showing he wasn't going to rush her. "I got all night. My CFO, Harrison Blackwell, he stole $40 million. My fiancé, Preston Ashworth, was selling our tech specs to competitors. The board wants to force me out. My own mother took a bribe to vote against me." The words poured out like poison from a wound. "I built this company from nothing. I worked 20-hour days, sacrificed everything, and for what? To be alone on a roof in the rain? That's a heavy load," Solomon said softly. "Too heavy for anyone to carry alone. I've always been alone." "No, you haven't. You just convinced yourself you had to be. You don't understand. In my world, showing weakness is death. In my world too, Solomon said. Different kind of death maybe, but death all the same. You know what I do when the load gets too heavy? What? Despite herself, she wanted to know. I share it. Even if it's just with the night shift crew. Even if it's just saying today was hard to someone who gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn about me. They care about my money, my company, my connections. I give a damn, Solomon interrupted. That's why I ran up 14 flights of stairs with a bad knee. That's why I'm sitting on this wet roof instead of mopping floors. I give a damn about Valentina, not Valentina Cross, the CEO. You don't even know me. I know you keep a photo of a little girl in your desk drawer. You, I'm guessing, before the world taught you to be hard. I know you water that half-dead plant every morning even though you could buy 1,000 new ones. I know you say please and thank you to the cleaning crew when most executives don't even see us. I know there's good in you, fighting to stay alive. Valentina sobbed, her body shaking. It hurts so much. I know, honey, I know. Don't call me honey. We don't know each other like that. You're right. I apologize. What should I call you? She almost laughed at the absurdity. Val. My dad called me Val before he died. Okay, Val. I'm Solomon. Most folks call me Solo. That's ironic. How so? Solo. Alone. That's what we both are, aren't we? Right now, we're not. Right now, we're just two people on a roof, sharing a hard moment. Hello, my Stop Racism family. Thank you for tuning in today. Before we dive deeper into this beautiful love story, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop your country and state in the comments below. Also, I'd love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the story so far? Do you believe love can truly conquer prejudice? Let us know in the comments. We love reading them. And trust me, your words motivate us to keep making these videos. Let's make this video reach at least 50 comments. Your support means the world to us, and it drives us to create even more meaningful content for you. So don't forget to comment, share, and keep spreading love. For 2 hours they talked on that roof. Solomon told her about his brother Jerome, who'd survived his suicide attempt and now counseled others. About his daughter Amelia, 16 and brilliant, who wanted to be an engineer. About his wife Denise, who died of cancer 3 years ago, leaving him to raise Amelia alone while working 3 jobs. 3 jobs? Valentina asked, having moved away from the ledge to sit against the roof access door. This one at night, construction during the day, and I drive Uber on weekends. Amelia's college fund won't build itself. That's inhuman. That's survival. But you know what? Every morning when I get home, Amelia has breakfast ready. Burned eggs and toast, but made with love. That's worth more than sleep. I haven't had anyone cook for me with love since my dad died. When was that? 15 years ago. Cancer. Mom remarried within a year. Richard Sterling, who wanted Dad's company more than her. I spent the rest of my teens fighting to keep what Dad built, then surpassing it. But somewhere along the way, I became the company. Nothing else. You're more than your company. Am I? Take away Meridian Industries, and what's left? A woman who waters dying plants and keeps childhood photos. A woman who says please to janitors. A woman who's hurting but still fighting. I'm tired of fighting. Then stop fighting. Start living. I don't know how. Neither did I after Denise died. But Amelia taught me. Kids are good at that, reminding you that life is more than work and pain. Security guard Tyrell Johnson's voice crackled over Solomon's radio. Solo, you okay up there? Clarence said there was an emergency. Solomon looked at Valentina, asking permission with his eyes. She nodded. We're okay, Tyrell. False alarm. Just needed some air. In the rain? Sometimes you need to get wet to remember you're alive. You're weird, man. Hurry up, though. Clarence is pissed about Sector 7. After Tyrell signed off, Valentina stood slowly, Solomon tensing. I'm not going to jump, she said. I'm too curious now. About what? About what happens if I try your way. Sharing the load. It's not easy. Trusting people after betrayal. It's like learning to walk after being paralyzed. Speaking from experience, my ex-best friend slept with my wife while she was going through chemo. Yeah, I know about betrayal. My God. How did you forgive? I didn't. But I didn't let it make me stop trusting everyone else either. That's letting them win. Valentina picked up the scattered pills, pocketing them. These were my dad's, from his last days. I've carried them for 15 years. That's a long time to carry an exit strategy. Maybe it's time to let them go. Maybe. They walked to the roof door together, Solomon's hand hovering near her elbow, not touching but ready if she stumbled. Solo? She said as they reached the door. Yeah, thank you. Just doing my job. Saving suicidal CEOs is in your job description. Making sure everyone gets home safe is. You're part of everyone. The next morning, Valentina called an emergency board meeting. She looked different, still professional, but somehow more human. Solomon watched from the hallway as he cleaned, close enough to hear through the glass doors. Gentlemen, ladies, she began. Effective immediately, Harrison Blackwell is terminated and criminal charges are being filed. Preston Ashworth's access has been revoked, and our engagement is over. As for those of you who've been conspiring with my mother to force me out, she looked directly at board members Gerald Pike and Constance Fairweather. You have 1 hour to tender your resignations, or I release the emails I have documenting your conspiracy. You can't prove anything, Gerald blustered. Can I? She pulled up files on the screen. Email threads, financial transfers, recorded conversations. My janitor isn't the only one who sees everything. I've been watching too, just waiting for you to show your true colors. Her mother, Patricia Sterling, stood. Valentina, this is ridiculous. What's ridiculous, Mother, is that you sold me out for $5 million. Dad's company, his legacy, me, all worth $5 million to you. You're being dramatic. I'm being factual. Security will escort you all out. Your severance packages are revoked under the breach of fiduciary duty clause. As security entered, led by Tyrell Johnson, Valentina noticed Solomon in the hallway. Their eyes met through the glass, and she smiled. A real smile, possibly the first he'd seen from her. After the room cleared, she found him in the hallway. That was impressive, he said, wringing out his mop. I learned from the best. Sometimes you have to stop fighting and start living. But first, you have to clear out the poison. Proud of you. You don't even know me, she said. But she was smiling. Getting there. Her new assistant, Kimberly Chen, interrupted. Ms. Cross, your 10 a.m. is here. Cancel it, Valentina said, surprising everyone. Cancel everything today. Ma'am, I need a personal day, my first in 5 years. As Kimberly scurried off, confused, Valentina turned back to Solomon. When's your lunch break? I work nights, remember? I get off at 6 a.m. Right, sorry, I just thought. She looked embarrassed. Never mind. But I could grab breakfast if you want. There's a diner 2 blocks over that makes decent pancakes. I haven't had pancakes in years. Then you're overdue. Ruby's diner was a world away from Valentina's usual haunts. Cracked vinyl booths, ancient coffee makers, and the smell of bacon grease. But it was warm and real, filled with night shift workers grabbing breakfast before bed. Ruby herself, a 60-year-old black woman with arms like a linebacker and a smile like sunshine, greeted Solomon warmly. Solo, and who's this? Don't tell me you finally got yourself a girlfriend. Just a friend, Ruby. This is Val. Ruby studied Valentina shrewdly. Val, huh? You look familiar. You work at that big tower too. Something like that, Valentina said. They sat in a corner booth, and Valentina watched in amazement as Solomon ordered enough food for 3 people. I haven't eaten since yesterday lunch, he explained. Forgot to pack dinner. You forgot to eat? Happens when you're busy. You should know. I've seen your trash. Coffee cups and protein bars ain't meals. Touché. The food arrived, and Valentina found herself devouring pancakes like she hadn't eaten in years. Maybe she hadn't. Not really. Fuel wasn't food, and she'd been running on fuel for too long. Can I ask you something? She said, syrup on her chin. Shoot. Why did you really save me? And don't say it's your job. Solomon set down his fork. My brother Jerome, when he was on that bridge, nobody stopped. Dozens of cars passed. Nobody wanted to get involved. One person, just one person stopping, might have saved him years of pain. But someone did save him. Yeah, after he jumped. A fisherman pulled him out. But what if someone had stopped him from jumping at all? So I promised myself, I see someone in that place, I stop, no matter what. Even bitchy CEOs who yell at you, especially them. Pain makes people mean sometimes. Doesn't mean they don't deserve compassion. Valentina's phone buzzed. 17 missed calls from various board members, 53 emails marked urgent. She turned it off. That's probably important, Solomon noted. Not as important as this. This? Pancakes with someone who sees me as human. Everyone's human. You'd be surprised how many people forget that, myself included. You remember now? I'm trying. Solomon's own phone rang. His daughter Amelia. Hey, baby girl. Yeah, I'm grabbing breakfast. No, just a friend. Yes, a lady friend. Amelia. He looked embarrassed. Sorry, he told Valentina. Teenage daughters. Put her on speaker, Valentina said impulsively. You sure? Why not? Solomon hit speaker. Amelia, you're on speaker with my friend Val. Oh my God, Dad. Hi, Val. Are you the reason Dad's out for breakfast instead of coming straight home? Guilty, Valentina said. Good. He needs friends. All he does is work. Sounds like someone else I know, Solomon said, looking at Valentina. Dad, are you dating? Please say you're dating. It's been 3 years. Amelia Rose Wade. What? Mom would want you to be happy. Solomon looked mortified. Valentina found it endearing. Your dad and I just met, Amelia. We're having pancakes, not planning a wedding. Yet? Amelia said cheerfully. Dad, bring her to my science fair next week. Amelia, I'd love to come, Valentina said, surprising herself and Solomon. What's your project? I'm designing an app to help connect night shift workers with resources like childcare and meal services. Dad inspired it. That's brilliant. I know some people in tech who might be interested in that. Really? Oh my God. Dad, marry her. I'm hanging up now, Solomon said quickly, face burning. Love you, baby girl. Love you too. Bye, Val. Take care of my dad. After he hung up, they sat in awkward silence. She's something, Valentina finally said. She's everything. But I'm sorry about the whole. Don't apologize. She sounds amazing. She is. Too smart for her own good, though. Gets it from her mom. And the kindness from her dad. Over the next weeks, a strange friendship developed. Valentina started staying late enough to see Solomon when his shift began. They'd share coffee in her office while he cleaned, talking about everything and nothing. You know people are starting to notice, Solomon said one night, emptying her trash. Notice what? The CEO hanging around to chat with the janitor. Let them notice. It could hurt your reputation. My reputation is what? The ice queen? The workaholic? I think a little humanity won't kill me. Solomon's supervisor, Clarence, was less philosophical about it. What are you doing, man? Clarence asked in the supply closet. That's Valentina Cross. She could buy and sell us 1,000 times. She's just a person, Clarence. A person who could get you fired if you cross a line. I'm not crossing any lines. We're friends. Janitors aren't friends with billionaire CEOs. This one is. But Clarence had a point. The other executives were noticing, and not kindly. Slumming with the help, Valentina? Her new CFO, Diana Morrison, asked at a meeting. Excuse me? The janitor. People are talking. People can talk all they want. Solomon's a friend. Solomon, you're on a first-name basis? I'm on a first-name basis with everyone who saves my life. That shut Diana up, but the whispers continued. The night of Amelia's science fair, Valentina arrived in her Tesla, feeling out of place among the minivans and school buses. She'd traded her usual suit for jeans and a blazer, trying to look less CEO and more normal. Solomon was already there, wearing the only suit he owned, the one from Denise's funeral, though Valentina didn't know that. He looked handsome but uncomfortable. You came, he said, genuine surprise and joy in his voice. I promised Amelia. Still, this isn't your world. Maybe I need a new world. Amelia bounced over, all excitement and teenage energy. Val, you really came? Dad, doesn't she look pretty? Amelia, Solomon warned. What? She does. Valentina laughed. Thank you, Amelia. You look pretty too. Now show me this app. For the next hour, Valentina was captivated. Amelia's app was brilliant, simple, elegant, solving a real problem. Other parents stared, recognizing Valentina from magazine covers, but she ignored them, focused entirely on Amelia's presentation. "This is exceptional," Valentina said. "With your permission, I'd like to show this to my development team." "Are you serious?" Amelia squealed. "Dead serious. This could help thousands of families." "Dad, did you hear that?" Solomon was watching Valentina with an expression she couldn't read. "I heard, baby girl." The judges came around, and Amelia won first place. As she accepted her ribbon, she announced to the whole gymnasium, "I couldn't have done it without my dad, who works 3 jobs to take care of me, and Val, who believed in my idea." Later, in the parking lot, Solomon walked Valentina to her car. "You didn't have to do that," he said. "Do what?" "Offer to help with the app. You don't owe us anything. I'm not doing it because I owe you. I'm doing it because it's a good idea and Amelia's brilliant." "Like her mom," Solomon said softly. "Tell me about her." "Denise." Solomon leaned against her car. "She was a force of nature. Taught high school chemistry, could have been a professor, but wanted to help kids who needed it most. When she got sick," he paused, composing himself. "She spent her last months writing letters for Amelia. Birthday cards, graduation cards, wedding cards, all waiting for the right moments. She sounds incredible." "She was, and she would have liked you. A billionaire CEO, a woman who waters dying plants and shows up for teenage science fairs." Their eyes met and held. Something shifted in the air between them. "Solo, I know. Different worlds." "No," I was going to say, "would you like to have dinner? A real dinner, not pancakes at Ruby's?" "Val, I can't afford the places you eat." "Then I'll cook." "You cook?" "No, but I'll learn." How's this story hitting you so far? Tell us in the comments. If you're loving it, type 1. If not, type 0. We want to know what you think. 3 days later, Solomon arrived at Valentina's penthouse with Amelia and a bouquet of grocery store flowers. "I told him to get roses," Amelia whispered loudly. "But he said carnations were more honest." "I love carnations," Valentina said, meaning it. "They last longer than roses." Her penthouse was exactly what Solomon expected. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist furniture, cold and perfect, except for the kitchen, which looked like a war zone. "I may have overestimated my cooking abilities," Valentina admitted, smoke still lingering from her failed attempt at lasagna. "What did you do to it?" Amelia asked, poking the charred remains. "I followed the recipe." Solomon looked at the recipe, then at the oven settings. "You set it to broil, not bake." "There's a difference?" Father and daughter exchanged amused looks. "Okay," Solomon said, rolling up his sleeves. "Cooking lesson time. Amelia, you help Val with the salad. I'll salvage what I can here." For the next hour, they worked together. Solomon patient and teaching, Amelia chattering about school, Valentina learning that cooking was basically chemistry and she'd been overthinking it. "Mom used to say cooking with love was the secret ingredient," Amelia said. "But Dad says the secret is actually reading the recipe twice." "Both can be true," Solomon said, hip-checking his daughter playfully. They ate spaghetti with simple marinara, salad, and garlic bread. It was the best meal Valentina had had in years. "This is nice," she said, watching Solomon and Amelia tease each other. "You sound surprised," Solomon noted. "I am. I haven't had a family dinner since... Actually, I don't think I've ever had one. Not like this. Never. My parents had formal dinners. Staff served us in courses. No laughing, no talking with your mouth full, no joy. That's sad," Amelia said bluntly. "Amelia, it's okay," Valentina said. "She's right. It was sad." After dinner, Amelia fell asleep on the couch, watching a movie. Solomon carried her to the guest room Valentina had made up, tucking her in with practiced ease. When he returned to the living room, Valentina was on the balcony, city lights spread below them. "She's wonderful," Valentina said as he joined her. "She's my world. I can see why." They stood in comfortable silence, close but not touching. "Val, can I ask you something?" "Anything. What are we doing here?" "I don't know. But I know I haven't felt this alive since that night on the roof. I'm a janitor with a daughter and more bills than money. You're lonely, tired, ready for something real. Is that what this is? Real?" She turned to face him. It's the realest thing in my life. He kissed her then, soft and careful, like she might break or disappear. She kissed back like she was drowning, and he was air. This is complicated, he said when they pulled apart. Everything good is. Word spread fast. The janitor and the CEO. The beauty and the beast, some called it, though opinions differed on who was which. Solomon faced it first at work. You lost your damn mind? Clarence demanded. She's using you, man. For what? My vast fortune? My influential connections? For rebellion. Rich white girl wants to piss off daddy? Her dad's been dead 15 years? Then she wants to seem progressive. Date a black man, get diversity points. You don't know her. And you do? After 2 months? I know enough. His co-worker, Luis Ramirez, was more supportive. If she makes you happy, man, go for it. Life's too short. But Tyrell, the security guard, was worried. Just be careful, Solo. When rich people get bored, they move on. And you got Amelia to think about. Valentina faced her own resistance. This is career suicide, Diana Morrison told her bluntly. The board will revolt. Let them. Valentina, be practical. You're dating the janitor. I'm dating Solomon Wade, a single father who works 3 jobs to support his daughter, who saved my life, who sees me as more than a bank account or a business connection. The optics. Fuck the optics. Diana was shocked. Valentina never cursed. I spent my whole life worried about optics, Valentina continued. It nearly killed me, literally. I'm done living for other people's comfort. Her lawyer, Jonathan Hayes, was more direct. Get a prenup. No. Valentina, be reasonable. You're worth billions, and he's worth more. He gave me a reason to live. Try putting a price on that. 3 months into their relationship, everything came to a head at the annual Meridian Industries Gala. Valentina had insisted Solomon come as her date, not the janitor. I don't own a tux, he'd protested. Then we'll get you one. Val, I can't. It's a gift. People give gifts to people they love. It was the first time she'd used the word love. Solomon had stopped arguing. The night of the gala, he looked magnificent in his tuxedo, Amelia having insisted on taking 100 photos before they left. You look like James Bond, she'd said. James Bond was white, baby girl. There should be a black James Bond. You could be him. At the gala, held at the Four Seasons, the stares were immediate and obvious. Valentina held Solomon's arm firmly, chin high, daring anyone to say something. Her mother was the first to crack. This is your date? Patricia Sterling asked, her new husband Richard beside her. This is Solomon, yes? The janitor. The man I love. Patricia's face went through several expressions. You can't be serious. Dead serious. Valentina, you're destroying everything. I destroyed the false everything months ago. Now I'm building something true. Richard Sterling, ever the opportunist, saw a different angle. Mr. Wade, wasn't it? You must be very special to have caught Valentina's attention. I'm just myself, Solomon said evenly. And what does yourself bring to this relationship? Besides the obvious diversity? Solomon felt Valentina tense beside him. It's okay, he told her, then addressed Richard. I bring respect, honesty, love, things that were apparently in short supply around here. How dare you? He saved my life, Valentina interrupted. The night you and Mother tried to force me out, I was on the roof ready to jump. Solomon stopped me. The color drained from Patricia's face. You were going to... Yes. Your betrayal? Harrison's theft? Preston's lies? It all broke me. Solomon put me back together. People were listening now. The confrontation drawing attention. Preston Ashworth chose that moment to appear, drunk and belligerent. So you replaced me with the help? How progressive of you, Val. Solomon stepped forward, but Valentina held him back. Preston, you're drunk. Leave. No, I want to understand this. You rejected me, a Harvard MBA from a good family, for him? I rejected a liar and a thief for an honest man. Seems like a good trade to me. Preston laughed, ugly. Wait until the board hears about this. The CEO fucking the janitor. Solomon's fist connected with Preston's jaw before anyone could react. Preston went down hard, blood from his nose staining his white shirt. That's assault, Richard Sterling shouted. Call the police. Call them, Solomon said calmly. And I'll tell them about the insider trading Preston was doing with your help, Mr. Sterling. Richard went pale. You can't prove. Actually, I can, Valentina said, pulling out her phone. I've been recording every conversation in my office for months, including the one where you and Preston discussed selling our AI specs to the Chinese. Security arrived, led by Terrell, who was trying not to smile. Escort Mr. Ashworth and Mr. Sterling out, Valentina ordered. They're banned from all Meridian properties. As they were removed, Patricia Sterling stood alone, looking lost. I nearly lost you, she said to Valentina. My own greed nearly killed my daughter. Yes, it did. I'm sorry. Too little, too late. Patricia left in tears, and Valentina turned to the stunned crowd. Anyone else have opinions about my relationship? No? Good. Then let's enjoy the party. The rest of the evening was tense, but manageable. Some executives made excuses to leave early, but others, surprisingly, were supportive. About time you found happiness, said Margaret Cho, the head of development. And Solomon seems lovely. He is, Valentina said, finding Solomon on the balcony later, nursing his bruised knuckles. I shouldn't have hit him, he said. He deserved it. Still, violence isn't... She kissed him quiet. You defended my honor. It was very James Bond of you. Amelia would be proud. Amelia would be ecstatic. Her dad, the hero. I'm no hero. You are to me. 6 months after that night on the roof, Solomon found Valentina in her office at 2 a.m., his shift, her insomnia. You should be home, he said, emptying her trash. Can't sleep. Board meeting tomorrow? Yeah. They're voting on my relationship clause. Which is? Whether a CEO dating a company employee is grounds for termination. Solomon stopped cleaning. They can fire you for dating me. They can try. Val, no. Your company is just a company. You and Amelia are family. We've been dating 6 months. The best 6 months of my life. Val, I'm going to propose something crazy. Crazier than the CEO dating the janitor? Marry me. Solomon dropped his mop. What? Marry me. If they're going to fire me, let them fire me for being your wife, not your girlfriend. That's not a reason to get married. No, but love is. And I love you, Solomon Wade. I love your strength, your kindness, your terrible dancing. My dancing's not terrible. It's terrible. But I love it. I love how you sing old soul songs while you clean. I love how you read bedtime stories to Amelia over the phone when you're at work. I love how you've taught me to be human again. Solomon sat down heavily in her office chair. Val, marriage is... I've done it before. It's hard. And with our differences make us stronger. You ground me, I elevate you. We balance. What about Amelia? What about her? She's been calling me future stepmom for 2 months. She has. You didn't know? Solomon laughed, running his hands over his face. That girl is too much. She's perfect. And I want to be her stepmother officially. I want to help with homework and attend every science fair and embarrass her at graduation. I want to be there when she gets into MIT. MIT? She hasn't even applied. She will. And she'll get in. And we'll be there together, crying like idiots. Solomon stood, walking to her, pulling her up from her desk. You really want to marry a janitor? I want to marry Solomon Wade. Father, survivor, hero, the man who saved my life. You saved your own life. I just reminded you it was worth saving. Then keep reminding me. Forever. That's a long time. Not long enough. He kissed her deeply, and when they pulled apart, both had tears in their eyes. Is that a yes? Valentina asked. That's a... Let me do this properly. Solomon got down on one knee, pulling out a small box from his uniform pocket. I've been carrying this for a month, waiting for the right moment. Valentina gasped. Inside was a simple silver band with a small sapphire. Not expensive, but beautiful. It was Denise's grandmother's. She told me to give it to someone who would love Amelia like her own. Valentina Cross, will you marry me? Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. They were kissing when the door burst open. The entire night shift cleaning crew stood there. Clarence, Luis, Terrell, Ruby, who delivered food sometimes, and others. We knew it, Luis shouted. Clarence owes me $50. You were betting on us? Solomon asked. Man, we've been betting on you two since that first morning at Ruby's, Tyrrell said. Solomon never went to breakfast with nobody. Ruby pushed forward, tears in her eyes. My baby's getting married again, and to such a pretty girl. This is happening? Clarence asked, still shocked. The CEO and the janitor? The woman and the man, Valentina corrected. Everything else is just details. They married 6 months later, not in a grand cathedral or exclusive venue, but in Ruby's diner at sunrise, when the night shift ended and the day began. A perfect metaphor for their love. Amelia was the maid of honor. Jerome, Solomon's brother, now 3 years sober, was the best man. The wedding party included the entire night shift crew, Valentina's new board, she'd survived the vote and cleaned house, and a surprising guest, Patricia Sterling, who'd spent months in therapy and was trying to make amends. I don't deserve to be here, Patricia had said. No, you don't, Valentina had agreed. But Solomon taught me about second chances. This is yours. Don't waste it. The ceremony was performed by Tyrell, who'd gotten ordained online specifically for this. Dearly beloved, he began, grinning. We are gathered here at sunrise to witness something that shouldn't be possible but is. A year ago, Solomon saved Valentina's life on a rooftop. Today, they save each other's lives every day. Solomon's vows were simple but powerful. Valentina, you came into my life like lightning. Brilliant, powerful, unexpected. You've shown Amelia that women can be CEOs and stepmoms, that strength and softness can coexist. You've shown me that love doesn't care about bank accounts or backgrounds. I promise to keep you grounded, to remind you to eat real food, and to love you through board meetings and bad days, through triumphs and taxes, forever. Valentina's vows made everyone cry. Solomon, you saw me on the worst night of my life and chose to care. You've taught me that worth isn't measured in dollars, but in how we treat each other. You've given me a family, a home, a reason to leave the office. I promise to love you and Amelia with everything I have, to never let work come before family, and to learn to cook at least 5 edible meals. I now pronounce you husband and wife, Tyrell declared. Kiss your bride, Solo. They kissed as the sun streamed through Ruby's windows, the night shift cheering, Amelia throwing confetti she'd made from shredded financial reports. Symbolic, she'd said. The reception was in the Meridian Industries lobby. Valentina had insisted on using the space where Solomon had worked all those nights, transforming it with lights and flowers. From janitor to CEO's husband, Clarence said in his toast. Solo, you've given us all hope that maybe the world can surprise us. Diana Morrison, who'd initially opposed the relationship, stood next. I was wrong. Valentina, you're not just a better CEO since meeting Solomon. You're a better person. And Solomon, you're not just the janitor who saved her. You're the man who showed her how to live. How's this story hitting you so far? Tell us in the comments. If you're loving it, type 1. If not, type 0. We want to know what you think. The Wade Cross Foundation, Solomon had insisted. His name come first, saying, it sounds better, had revolutionized support for night shift workers nationwide. Their programs provided childcare, education, and advancement opportunities for thousands of families. Solomon still worked, not as a janitor, but as director of employee wellness at Meridian Industries. He'd gotten his degree in social work, paid for by Valentina, but earned entirely on his own merit. Amelia, now 21, was indeed at MIT, double majoring in computer science and social justice. Her app had become a nationwide platform, helping millions of shift workers. And in the CEO suite of Meridian Industries, Valentina Wade Cross worked reasonable hours for the first time in her life. On her desk were 3 photos, their wedding at Ruby's, Amelia's MIT acceptance celebration, and the newest, their 2-year-old twins, David and Denise, playing in Solomon's old janitor's uniform. Mommy, tell us the story, David demanded during a visit to the office. Which story, baby? How Daddy saved you. Valentina lifted him onto her lap, Denise climbing up on her own. Once upon a time, Mommy was very sad and stood on a roof in the rain. That's dangerous, Denise interrupted. Very dangerous. But Daddy saw that Mommy needed help. Even though you yelled at him, David added. knowing this story by heart. Yes, even though I yelled, and he ran up 14 flights of stairs. "With a bad knee," both twins shouted. Solomon entered the office, carrying lunch from Ruby's. "Are we telling that story again?" "It's their favorite," Valentina said, kissing him hello. "Mine too," he admitted, sitting with them. "But the real story isn't just that night." "What's the real story?" Denise asked. "The real story is that sometimes people save each other. Mommy saved me too." "From what?" David asked. "From thinking life was just about surviving. She showed me it could be about thriving." That night, as they tucked the twins into bed in their Brooklyn brownstone, they'd moved out of the penthouse, wanting something warmer. Amelia called from Boston. "Guess what? I got the internship at the Social Justice Tech Lab." "That's amazing, baby girl," Solomon said. "I'm so proud of you," Valentina added. "It's because of you both. Dad, you showed me that everyone deserves dignity." Mom, she'd started calling Valentina that 2 years after the wedding. "You showed me that power can be used for good." After the call, Solomon and Valentina sat on their stoop, watching the neighborhood settle into evening. The same stoop where 5 years ago, Solomon had stood wondering if he should take a 4th job to cover Amelia's college applications. "Any regrets?" Valentina asked, their nightly ritual. "Just one." "What?" "I should have let you follow me immediately that night. I was horrible to you. You were in pain, and if I'd let you follow, we'd have had an extra few minutes together. We have a lifetime now. Not long. Enough." They sat in comfortable silence. The billionaire CEO and the former janitor, now just Val and Solo, proof that love doesn't check resumes or bank balances. I yelled, "Don't follow me," Valentina mused. Loudly, repeatedly. Thank God you didn't listen. Thank God I could see what you couldn't, that your life was worth saving. And thank God you were worth living for. As night fell over Brooklyn, somewhere in Manhattan, the night shift at Meridian Industries was starting. In the CEO's old office, now Valentina's new space designed for work-life balance, a photo hung on the wall. Solomon in his janitor's uniform, Valentina in her CEO suit, both on the roof where it all began, now safely away from the edge, holding each other as sunrise painted the sky. The inscription below, in Amelia's handwriting, read, "Sometimes the best love stories begin with someone yelling, 'Don't follow me,' and someone else loving them enough to follow anyway." And in the Wade Cross house, as the twins slept and Amelia studied at MIT, Solomon and Valentina held each other, grateful for that night when a janitor saw what could save a CEO's life. Not money, not success, not power, but simple human connection. Love had saved them both, and it continues to save them every single day.